back to the show. This is The Law Show on CL 650.
Nice to have you with us this Sunday morning. Joe Murphy and Angela Price-Stevens are lawyers with Murphy Batista, a personal injury law firm located in downtown Vancouver at 650 West Georgia and online at murphybatista.com. On our program today, we've been talking about ICBC and how people involved with car accidents in our province should approach ICBC, the insurer, and there are a couple of rules that are beginning to emerge from this conversation, and we thank you both for your patience in assembling all of this. But Joe Murphy, you've been talking a lot about that all-important phone call to the lawyer, and we found out in this program that basically when offered a chance to do that, 1 in 10 of us actually picks up a phone and calls a lawyer. So, okay, then that's a large number of people listening to the program right now who haven't done that in the past. Why is it so important that they do it next time?
So they understand what their rights are. And because they're dealing with ICBC as someone sitting on the other side of the table. Sterling, an option, a modern-day option to a phone call is going to the website, clicking on the link, and that sends a message to us, and I get those. Sometimes they're sent in the middle of the night,
right?
But they're dealt with within hours of arriving. So that's the option.
Sure, of course.
As opposed to a phone call.
Right, but some communication
yes, for sure.
with a lawyer, just to, again, to know where you stand. I would think, probably the nicest thing, Angela, I could hear from calling the lawyer, I know that if I call Murphy Batista and ask for you, I'll probably get you. And then you'll tell me if I don't need a lawyer. You'll say, well, it's tough that you got into this accident, but it's not really a big deal. But you do need to do this, this, and this. And then call me back in a few weeks and tell me how it went. You don't need a lawyer this time, really. And you tell people that.
I do frequently, actually. There is a large minority that is exactly the tone of the conversation.
But imagine the peace of mind that you've just given me in a 5-minute phone call. You've informed me of my rights. You've informed me of what ICBC is likely to want me to do.
Yes.
And how much I need to comply with their wishes. And then you've told me, just go with the flow. It should work out for you. Call me back with a follow-up call in a few months. Imagine the peace of mind that the person on my end of the phone is going to feel just based on that.
It's peace of mind. Honestly, as a lawyer, it makes me feel great that I've been of good service. And it's goodwill. I mean, it's goodwill in the community. When somebody calls for advice and you give them advice, it doesn't necessarily need to lead to a retainer.
Right. Now, Joe, in some cases, clearly you're going to be on your end of the phone call and you're going to hear a description of events and circumstances that cause you to go, in this particular instance, you should probably come in and have a conversation with us. It sounds like we need to meet.
Yes, and in fact, the meeting sometimes is in our office, but almost as often is at the person's home, in a hospital, in a variety of places.
Sure.
So there are some people that just can't come in, and it's common in a serious injury to be meeting with the family at the hospital.
Right.
Which we do.
Right. And I suppose when that meeting takes place, and I'm going back to previous shows with both of you, it always is helpful when the client brings a close friend or family member to that initial meeting as well. Is that correct?
Oh, for sure. In fact, I say to them, who is it who's helping you make the decision, who's important in your life? Please bring them with you to the meeting, because that means those people are going to find out firsthand what the system is and what the issues are and what we could do for them. If they decide to hire us, there's no obligation to hire us and there's no charge for that meeting.
And I guess, Angela, also in the case of that all-important person in your life that you bring to the meeting, perhaps they will be able to answer medical-related questions that the person who may have suffered an injury and not know it can't answer.
Well, certainly that's possible, but initially what we're trying to do is to build that relationship, advise them of their rights, and make sure that we have a full and comprehensive picture of their injuries and their life before the injury, what their problems are at this point. And we need that information to be able to best serve them.
Okay, and again, with respect to the meeting, the first meeting is free, the phone call is free. At what point, and we're almost out of time, but at what point does the firm become engaged, Joe? At what point do you realize that we have a situation here, we can work for you, we'd like to take you on as a client, we think your case has tremendous merit? How does that, how quickly can you advance an interest to taking on a case?
Well, it could be immediate. If you hear someone's badly injured, they're in a hospital, they're a pedestrian, immediately there's going to be issues about liability,
Sure.
what happened, left turning vehicle, those are automatic with a serious injury.
Mm-hmm.
But I also say to people who are dealing with ICBC directly, and I tell them what to do and not do, and then I also say to them, and phone me back before you settle your claim.
Right.
Because I can then tell you what you need to do, what your claim is worth. And sometimes when they phone back, I say, you should come in and see us. We should talk about this because this is something that's beyond your ability, I think, to effectively deal with.
Maybe they're being lowballed and inappropriately.
Well, or more importantly, they have significant ongoing problems.
Mm-hmm.
That means what does the future hold? Or that raises the question, what does the future hold?
Great advice. We appreciate both of your time this morning, and the ICBC file is one that each and every driving British Columbia has, even if it's just those blinking monthly premiums, let alone an actual encounter with someone from the other side of the desk. Joe Murphy and Angela Price-Stevens from Murphy Batista, LLP in Vancouver. Thank you so much. Great to have you again on The Law Show.
Thank you, Sterling.
Thank you very much, Sterling.
Red Robinson coming right up on CIL 650.